Welcome to Woo Woo Works. My friends, it's time to lose the diet and gain a new life. If you're struggling to lose weight, are unable to maintain weight loss, and can't face another exhausting workout, this video is for you. I'm cutting to the chase because this is the most important message of the video. You haven't failed. Let me repeat that. You haven't failed. You are not a failure. The diets have failed you. What if I told you that there's an underlying undiscovered cause behind weight gain? And what if addressing this hidden factor could trigger natural weight loss, without crazy restrictions and unsustainable sacrifice? There is. And the solution lies in understanding your emotions. The technique is called tapping, which is also known as EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. Tapping is like a mix of acupuncture and mindfulness, but without the needles. By gently tapping on specific points on your body while saying affirmations, you help your brain and body let go of stress. What can you expect from EFT? Sustained weight loss, restraint over food cravings, and power over your emotional and uncontrolled eating. And the best part? There's science behind it. For example, in one study, participants who learned tapping lost an average of 13 pounds over 6 weeks. And another study showed that after a 4-day EFT workshop, participants reduced their food cravings by an incredible 74%. But wait, it gets even better. When researchers followed up 2 years later, those same participants had not only maintained their weight loss, but many had lost even more. And here's what sets tapping apart from other programs. It's not just about the weight loss, it's about keeping it off for good. This long-term success highlights a critical point. EFT doesn't just treat the symptoms of weight gain, it goes deeper, addressing the emotional and psychological drivers that fuel unhealthy eating habits. And do you know what the biggest is? Stress. Here's something we don't hear enough. It's not about willpower. Most people do, in fact, have the willpower to deprive themselves and maintain an unrealistic workout schedule for a short period of time. Then what happens? Stress enters the picture. And when stress builds up, so do the pounds. Cortisol, your body's stress hormone, tells your body to store fat, especially around the belly, slow your metabolism, and crave sugary, high-calorie foods. Worse, it creates a cycle. Stress leads to cravings. Cravings lead to overeating, and overeating triggers guilt, which creates more stress. EFT tapping interrupts this cycle by calming the amygdala, the part of your brain that activates the stress response. Research shows that tapping can reduce cortisol levels by up to 43%. But there's another layer as to why diets fail. They demand perfection, and life isn't perfect. When a diet tells you to follow rigid rules, any misstep can feel like failure. EFT takes the opposite approach. It's about meeting yourself where you are without judgment and creating space for progress over time. Okay, time to move from theory to action. But before we do that, if you find this content helpful, please take a moment to subscribe and like the channel, as it will help me reach more people who can benefit from unconventional methods that offer transformative results. Here's how you can begin tapping today. The first step is to tune into how you feel about your weight. Rate the intensity of this feeling on a scale from 0 to 10. Then create an affirmation that you will use during the tapping process. An example may be, "Even though I'm overweight, I'm open to the possibility that change is possible." The next step involves the actual tapping process, where you tap on specific points along your body's energy meridians. There are 9 main points. You'll tap each point 6 times as you repeat your statement, then move on, repeating the same statement as you change tap points. The tap should be a medium intensity so you feel it, but not painful or hard. As well, the tapping pace should be moderate, not too slow, not too fast. The 9 points are: the karate chop point. Tap the side of one hand with the other. Either hand works. The eyebrow point. Tap at the inside of the eyebrow where the hair meets the nose. The side of the eye. Tap next to the outer corner of the eye, but not on the temple. Under the eye. Tap beneath the eye, directly on the bone. Under the nose. Tap between the upper lip and the nose. Under the mouth. Tap in the crease above the chin. The collarbone point. Tap about an inch below and out from the 2 collarbone bones. Under the arm, tap 3 inches below the armpit, around the bra line for women. The top of the head, tap gently on the crown of your head. After you've gone through the process once, take a moment to reflect and reassess the intensity of your emotions on the same 0 to 10 scale. If you feel a reduction in intensity, then repeat the 9 points, this time using a more specific affirmation. An example may be, as I open to this possibility to change, I can become aware of when I'm actually hungry. When complete, rate your emotions on the same scale. If after the process, the number on the assessment scale continues to decrease, you can get even more specific with your affirmation. You may consider, as I become aware of when I'm physically hungry, I can make better food choices that nourish my body. And then go through the 9 points again. As to how many times to repeat the process, ideally, you want your emotional assessment scale afterwards to be 3 or less. However, don't feel badly if you don't achieve that. What is important is that you've done as much as you likely have time for, and that you feel in control enough to get on with your day. Now, what if it's not working for you? Here are a few tips. The first and most important is to stop and check in as to whether you have something inside of you that is blocking you. Once you identify what that is, it would be what you tap on next. An example may be that you know that your partner doesn't want you to achieve your goal. In this case, change the affirmation to something like, even though my partner may not support my weight loss, I deserve to make my health my priority. Other tips include varying the intensity of your tapping. Try tapping more gently or with slightly more pressure to see if it makes a difference. In addition, try adding visualization. While tapping, imagine a positive scenario related to your issue. And finally, it's possible you've given up too soon. EFT requires consistency. It is not an overnight fix. EFT isn't just about losing weight, it's about gaining freedom. Freedom from the stress, cravings, and self-doubt that have been holding you back. When you start tapping, you're not just changing your body, you're changing the way you show up for yourself in every area of your life. Now take a moment and imagine what your life could look like if you weren't held back by emotional eating or stress about your weight. Picture yourself feeling confident, energized, and free. EFT. Tapping offers a path to that future. Start tapping today. Notice how it makes you feel and come back to it whenever you need. Let me know in the comments if this worked for you or any challenges you faced. Also, feel free to leave requests for future content that would be most valuable to you. Until next time.